Howdy on Moglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, so, I am scavenging like I do. I think I'm gonna look for... That seems like a horrible place to go into. Dogs. Nothing but dogs in there. I want to look for a school, I think. And I might travel into the desert to do so. I haven't done any desert towns in a long time. Uh, so they should definitely be refreshed and ready to go. Um, or, maybe I can hit the wasteland. I don't know. There's a couple of big waste. Look, I haven't even finished exploring that one. Where am I? So yeah, I guess we'll just we'll head south here. See if we can find a road. Oh, what's this over here? I forgot. Going into the desert involves lots of vultures. I don't like the vultures. Miss me. So no D&D this week. No D&D is planned for next week. Unfortunately. Oh, I could get some fuel while I'm out here too. Oh, yeah, let's take off the puffer coat, man. The actually there might be D&D next week. I take that back. One of the guys has got to travel across the country to do a job, so he doesn't know if he'll be back in time. Yeah, I don't know why there wasn't D&D. Oh, I know why there wasn't D&D, but I don't know why the dude didn't show up. He didn't say. Which is rude, and I hate it. I hate it when people do that crap. It's not hard when you're online all the time to just drop a note and say, hey, I won't be able to make it tonight. And I don't mean 5 minutes before it's supposed to start, which is when we often get messages. Which I also think is ridiculous. I'm not a phone person, and even I can manage to leave messages most of the time. I don't know. It's like saying you want to play a play-by-post game and then refusing to check the messages because you're air quote too busy to read one or two messages every day. Maybe half a dozen if things get frantic. Hey, you know when you put the aimer over the buzzard's supposed to die. Just saying. Okay, got a wee bit of a problem here. I am a long way from home, and have not laid down a bed. Uh, Next time I see some shiny rock by the side of the road, I definitely want to stop and pick it up. Some shale. Hey, we made it to a road. Whoa. So I did manage to watch a horror movie, which I often like to talk about. Uh, so spoilers for The Empty Man. It was all right. It was along the lines of, it wasn't as good as, but it was along the lines of like, I want to say Angel Heart was the name of the movie. Uh, I might be totally not remembering the name of said movie. Um, but it was one of those movies where the um, main character is there's a Hellraiser with the same storyline too. Not the exact same storyline, but the same type of storyline, I guess. Um, uh, but it was a this guy uh, who used to be a police officer has moved back to. I honestly am not sure. His friend's town, and his friend has died, and then him and the friend's wife have an affair after the funeral. And while that's going down, uh, his wife and child die in a car wreck. Uh, and so, of course, he's distraught about it. Actually, no, let's back that up. Let's back that up. I forgot about the first part of the movie. There's this whole part at the beginning of the movie that doesn't make any sense at all to me. And maybe I need to rewatch it to see if someone from the beginning of this movie is related to what's going on in the movie. But there's like this whole sequence at the start that makes zero sense to the rest of the movie at all. And I don't understand why it's in there. Like I said, possibly the one of the characters at the beginning of the movie. Oop, oop, I'm gonna get bit by a coyote. Get out here, coyote. Um, Possibly that's a thing that the character from the beginning of the movie is a character later on in the movie, and I just missed it. Um, but it's very strange intro. It starts with this group of people, and they're in the mountains, and um, uh, wow, I was kind of working while the movie was playing in the background, so I maybe missed what happened exactly to start the movie at the very beginning. Um, but it was this group of people. Oh no, I'm out of ammo. Well, shoot. I didn't realize I was that low on ammo. I've got to go home. I can't operate out here with no ammo. So, yes, this group of people are in the mountains, and I think they're there for the one friend who apparently I thought I saw a big lump of shiny rock I was gonna chop down, and now I don't see it anywhere. It was right here next to this thing, I swear. Oh, good. I'm hallucinating raw materials. Okay. Oh, wait. I was going the wrong way. It was right here. So the oh crap. All right, I gotta get on my bike and not get off until I'm home, and then I've got to put down my bed. That's all there is to it. So I think they were there because dude was having mental issues, and so they were doing like a let's let's get everybody together and see if we can't help kind of thing. And then something happened, and they went to get help, and somebody must have got injured. Um, and so, in the middle of all of that, they started hallucinating, which, yes, the hallucination does have to do with the rest of the movie, but I don't understand how the beginning ties into everything else. And um, so then the guy who had tried to the friend that they were all there for wound up in this cave, seated before a non-human entity, um, like its dead body. It was just like a mummified demon or something, and he was just sitting there staring at it. And when his friends found him, he told them that if they touch him, they will die. And so that's what happened. One of them touched him, and then like they all died. And I'm really not sure any of those people were in the movie after that. So I don't. Oh, and then it ended. That scene ended with the dude holding a weird like bottle thing and blowing into it, which does tie into the rest of the movie. The act of blowing into a bottle, not the thing he had in his hands, not him, not the demon, just the act of blowing into a bottle. I don't know what that had to do with anything. Um, and so then it switched, and the dude is the cop is there, and man, I really did not pay enough attention to this movie. Apparently, I don't remember why he was there, but he sees the daughter of his friend, and he's talking to her, and then he gets a phone call later that she's gone missing, and so he goes looking for her, like investigative wise, and anyways, this goes on. Her and her friends did this thing where if you stand on a bridge, which has nothing to do with the beginning of the movie, if you stand on a bridge and you blow into a bottle, you can call the empty man. And so that's what they did. And then um, I don't remember how many of them there were. Um, 5 or 6 of them. And so she vanished, and in blood, written across her door, or not her door, but the wall of her room, was "The empty man made me do it." And then, um, and then, uh, he talks to some of her friends at school, and gets one of them to talk back to him, and she tells him the story about how they all were on a bridge, and um, the girl got the rest of them to do the empty man thing by blowing into a bottle on a bridge, and then she left after that. And so then he went to the bridge and found the bodies of all the rest of the kids that were involved, and they had hung themselves. And then written on the bridge underneath was "The empty man made me do it." And then while he was involved with that, the girl that talked to him went to a spa, and or maybe she was at home. I'm not sure. It didn't look like a home to me, but that doesn't mean it wasn't like a modern style home. And so she stabbed herself to death and left a message that said "empty man." And then the police chief told him that he had seen another case where a woman had fed her child to a pack of wild dogs, and she had also written that the empty man made her do it. Um, and then he goes and investigates this cult, and and goes through the whole, you know, trying to figure out who's who and what's going on, and uh, runs into really strange people who seem to be related to the cult, and follows them, and then catches one of their trying to summon the empty man sessions, and then he learns about this camp, and he goes out to this camp and finds a VHS tape that he plays that shows them summoning the empty man, and like he witnesses one of their rituals at the camp where they're trying to summon the empty man. It's not kids at this point; it's adults. And then he finds somewhere in there. He finds the cult has been paying for the medical bills of this dude who's in a coma. And then eventually he finds the girl that he was looking for in the first place. And she tells him that the dude is dying, and that the last time there was a conduit for the empty man was 500 years ago, and they didn't want to lose their power from the empty man. I mean, none of that was evident in the show. And so they decided that they would make a new host for the empty man, and so they thought him into existence. Uh, And so he's the new host for the Empty Man, and then he tries to run, and then he gets taken over, and it just kind of ends at that point. And I was like, okay. So it's got some good moments. Um, it's a fairly interesting. It's not the strongest of this kind of movie I've seen. It's Oh no, your head came off. Uh, I've definitely seen better police officer, private investigator type investigating supernatural events that turns out to be him the whole time. There's definitely better ones out there, but I mean, it wasn't bad. Um, I it I really don't understand. Like, I get it, the empty man, they found him in the mountains, but who brought him back? That's the part I don't understand why that whole thing is in there, because he doesn't even he's not even like that. It's not even like this big demon thing, right? It's supposed to be this thing that lives between the realms, um, and tapping into uh, they're tapping into the oh, chemistry station. Uh, they're tapping into the grand consciousness, and not everything is human in the grand consciousness, and sometimes you connect with ancient angry things, and so the empty man is one of those, I guess. And so I mean, I don't know why they went through all that beginning stuff, because it didn't have anything to do with the rest of the movie, other than the dude blew on this bottle shaped thing to show that, I guess, the empty man had been a thing at some point in the past. But really, I don't know why the whole beginning was there. I need another. What? Oh, I've treated my abrasions already. Oh. My treated abrasion is healing faster, and I still have 27 minutes before it's healed. Okay. Okay. Uh, clearly, clearly I need to go get some more bullet supplies. And wood. Um, but yeah, it was interesting. There's definitely I swear there's a movie called Angel Heart, I think. Um, and it's about this private investigator gets involved in. I mean, it's been decades since I've seen this movie. um, but I remember it being good, and it's about this private investigator investigating killings, I think. And as he investigates the killings, um, he finds out that the dude was trying to make himself immortal, and and then it turns out that uh, the investigator had been taken and used as a vessel for the dude's heart and was the one doing the killings. Uh, if I remember correctly. Like I said, it's been a long time. I remember it being pretty good, but it would have been a 80s movie, I'm sure. And then the other one I could think of just off top of my head was, like I said, one of the Hellraiser movies. I really like the Hellraiser franchise for the most part. There's a couple of them I don't care for, but uh, I really like Hellraiser 1, and I really like Hellraiser Bloodlines, which I think is Hellraiser 4. Um, I'm pretty sure I like Hellraiser 2. I'm not as big a fan of Hellraiser 3. That one gets a little weird, if I'm remembering my movies correctly. Um, there's so this is nothing to do with the private investigator part, but Hellraiser is if you're not familiar with Hellraiser, is about a puzzle box that opens a pathway to other and hell, I guess. And if you solve the puzzle box, then it releases Pinhead, um, who is the demon in charge of bringing back the souls who've opened the puzzle box. That's the whole point of it. And the first movie is pretty gory, but pretty good. I mean, I don't mind gore, so uh, and so it's I guess spoilers for Hellraiser. The first movie is this woman is in love with the brother of her husband, and um, but he's gone missing basically, and nice. Got some points to spend here. I'm gonna wait to spend those points though. I'm gonna go grab some more supplies here. And so uh, I don't remember where the husband. He must be off to work or something. And the mother finds the brother Frank, but Frank has already been taken by the puzzle box, and he has escaped. And so he doesn't have any skin. And so the woman, who is crazy, decides that she's going to help Frank because she loves him, I guess. And so she starts luring men back to her house. And this is... Oh. Are these both the same thing? I thought one of these was supposed to be... Yeah, lead. I'm not sure lead is one of the things I really need, though. Starts luring men back to the house and then killing them so that Frank can bathe in their blood to restore his body. And eventually, her husband might be on a work trip when this is all going down. And then he comes back and they kill him, and then he starts wearing Frank's skin. And but then he goes after the daughter, which is weird. and she figures out what's going on, and she opens the puzzle box, releasing the Pinhead and his Cenobites. Uh, and then she tries to swap herself, because once you open the puzzle box, that's it, uh, for Frank. And so she tells him where Frank is. They take Frank in the movie. Uh, if Bloodlines is movie 3, which it very well may be, then 2 gets weird. In fact, why don't I just quickly Google Hellraiser? Uh, no, I wanted the list of movies. Yeah, okay. So, that still doesn't tell me. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So Hellraiser 2 does get a little weird, but the Cenobites return for Kirsty, and which is the daughter from the first one, and but she's in a mental institution, and the doctor uses her to take over. Uh, uh, I'm not as big a fan of that one. I think it's a little weird. Because the doctor becomes the new Pinhead. I'm pretty sure in that one. Yeah, yeah. Um, and then I honestly don't remember what 3 is even about. Where am I on this map? Okay, I was looking for coal. I need coal to finish this off. And so yeah. Anyways, eventually it gets to a Hellraiser. The Hellraisers get a little different in the middle. And so it stops being so much about the puzzle box and more about other things for some reason, which I don't mind for this one particular one. But I definitely don't like. There's like a game one I think is dumb, and there's one that takes place at a frat house that I don't care for. But mixed into those bad ones is this one where a police officer is investigating the murder of his own wife. And I really liked that one. And then when you get all the way to the end of that one, um, it turns out that he's the one that did it, but he doesn't remember. And so um, the movie, if I remember correctly, and it has been a while, it starts off with him waking up in his house and finding blood in the shower. Um, and so then he investigates his missing, maybe she's missing wife, and discovers she's been killed, and he tries to track the killer, and he finally does track the killer back to where the movie started, and then Pinhead shows up and is like, "Yeah, you killed her. You're already in hell, and this is your hell." And then he becomes unconscious at that point, and he wakes up in the bathroom with the blood and starts looking for his missing wife, because they don't let him keep his memories, and so he has to relive hunting for himself and finding out he killed his own wife over and over forever. And so I like that one. But that's the same kind of story as The Empty Man, just better. I mean, maybe it's not. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched them. Definitely my tastes have changed. I will say that. But I do have a nostalgic, fond memory of that movie, which makes me worried about going back and watching them. Because I'm just afraid they won't be good. I know I have them. I just have not been willing to watch them because maybe they're terrible. And I just, like I said, have this nostalgic memory of something that I liked a lot when I was younger. And it's just not aged well. Oh, good. Now I'm trapped down here. Can't get out. But yeah, they're definitely fun if you like horror, gory, scary kind of horror, which I do. Uh, but yeah, Empty Man, it was all right. Uh, like those two ancient movies better. Um, no D&D, I didn't like that. But what are you gonna do? I even took the time to sit up for this one because okay, so I made a mistake a couple weeks ago when I ran this session, and maybe I already talked about this, but the so we were playing and we were getting to the end of the dungeon, the floor of the dungeon that we're on, and I thought they were going to get through the floor of the dungeon because the only room left they haven't been to is just a short talking to a guy room, and I didn't have any bad guys on the next floor. I didn't even have the name of the next floor typed in yet. I had the map uploaded and that was it. And so I'm like, what did I do? I remember working on this. I thought I was all ready to go. And so what I had done was we use Roll20 to hold our maps and stuff. But we also use D&D Beyond, which is the official digital online tools for Dungeons and Dragons. And they keep adding new tools to the site. And so one of the new tools is the encounters. Now I looked at them before, but they didn't save, and so you could build an encounter, but once you close the window, it was gone. And so now they've got it so that it saves. And so I went through and I put in all the encounters for the dungeon so I could run them on D&D Beyond, um, which took a long time because creatures that are from D&D were easy to put in there. Creatures who were unique to the book, uh, I was unable to uh, I was unable to um, pull from D&D Beyond, obviously, and so I had to make those characters, uh, which isn't too difficult. It's one of the tool sets of D&D Beyond. Lets you make your own stuff. Um, it just takes time, and so I ended up putting in all of the guys from the book we're playing that aren't from D&D. It's a D&D campaign. It's just someone else made it that's not from Wizards of the Coast, so it's not an official book. Therefore, it doesn't have its official things on D&D Beyond. And so, uh, nice. And so, you have to make those yourself. Fill out the creature stats and name and upload a picture if you want, and that kind of stuff. And so I'd done all of that for all the rooms in the dungeon, but what I didn't do was put the monsters on the map. And so I did that this week in preparation for the upcoming game. And I read through what was going on a little bit. And one of the things that was happening was the uh, the characters, should they manage to find and unlock it, are going to find the treasure room of the dungeon they're in. It's got an actual treasure room, and so they the book has a list of treasure that's in there, and it's pretty good stuff. But it's not necessarily a match to your group. And so the book says everybody's supposed to come out of this with a magic item that's appropriate for their class. And so I had to go through and look at everybody's gear and their stats and stuff and figure out what items I wanted to replace the items that were listed with, so that everybody would get something nice for their particular character. And so I did all that, which definitely spent some time getting ready for last night, and then we didn't even play. I mean, that means I'm ready for next time, I guess, but still, we didn't even play. All right, with that, I am going to call it a day. So be better than the small things. Lead into the light. I will talk to you later.